See, I tried to outwork my weakness, and I tried to outrun my anxiety, and I tried to outperform my doubts. But exhaustion kept showing up where transformation was supposed to be. See, I had gotten saved when I was 16 years old, but here I was 19 years old at the time, and I had done nothing but struggle with my salvation for the entire 3 years. Now, not long before I turned 19, though, I met this guy. Now, this is my wife, Amanda, and Daryl. Now, I had seen Daryl around here and there. I thought he was really nice. But to be honest, he was a little strange. Not in a bad way, but in a way that made me curious. He seemed happy all the time, and there was a peace about him and an odd sort of strength to him that I had never seen before. So he went out of his way, though, when I would see him to speak to me. He was nice, but almost too nice. So it was weird to say the least, mainly because I had never met anyone like this before. And then one night I was invited to a church, and there he was again. But this time, they let him get up in front of the entire church and read a scripture and pray at the beginning of the service. And then they sang some songs. But then he got back up again to preach. What? Come to find out, he was the pastor. What? This guy's a pastor? I mean, this made it even more confusing to me because I've met a few pastors. I'd experienced a few pastors growing up. But for the most part, they seemed grumpy and agitated and, well, rather arrogant. Long story short, I started going to church there and then hanging out with Pastor Daryl from time to time. And over a short amount of time, God used Daryl to teach me something that would change my life. Growth doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from staying closer. See, I had focused so much on becoming better because that's what I was hearing from other people. Don't do this. Don't wear that. Don't listen to that. Don't hang around those people. On and on and on. It was about performing. But then I met Pastor Daryl and realized that I had been focusing on becoming better rather than becoming nearer. He was the first person that I'd ever met and spent time with that was abiding in Jesus. That's why it was so odd, because I had never seen it before. I learned that Jesus never invited us into self-improvement. He invites us into relationship. See, Jesus invites us in John 15:4. He says this, "Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me," Jesus says. Then, when Jesus says abide in me, he wasn't telling us to strive, to work harder. He was telling us to stay. Stay when you feel strong. Stay when you feel weak. Stay when you feel faithful. Stay when you feel far. I've been trying hard to look fruitful because that's what I was being told to do. But Pastor Daryl taught me the power and the beauty of abiding and how abiding in Jesus is what produces fruit. See, branches don't produce fruit by effort. They produce fruit by connection. You see, when I stopped asking, how can I do better? And started asking, how can I stay closer? Everything in my life shifted. My prayer life softened. My worship deepened. My hunger changed from performance to presence. The strangest thing happened. The fruit I couldn't force began to grow freely. It was crazy because Pastor Daryl didn't force anything on me. He simply invited me in. He didn't give me a long biblical rant. He simply showed me what it was like to abide in Jesus, to choose relationship over performance. So if you're tired today, if you feel stuck, if you've been trying hard but staying empty, Jesus isn't standing over you with a scoreboard. He's standing in front of you with open arms. He's not asking you to impress him. He's inviting you to abide with him. Because growth doesn't start with effort. It starts with intimacy. Jesus isn't inviting you to perform. He's inviting you to abide. Love you guys.